Welcome to Bella's Guidance. I am your host, Auntie Bella, a psychic shaman, spiritual guide, and mentor, as well as your holistic healer. With your permission, I'd love to guide and steer and propel you, the chosen few, along your spiritual journey and many awakenings by sharing ways to heal mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. All while realizing it's okay not to be perfect. You weren't created to be perfect, love. You were created to be the very best version of you. With that being said, let's get into today's message. The title of today's message is Astral Traveling, Premonitions, and Spiritual Encounters You Should Be Aware of. Today we'll be discussing ways you as a chosen one or psychic medium will receive spiritual messages that reveal the future, what's to come, and encounters that lead you to parts of yourself you accessed in past lives. Many of you may be aware you have experienced past lives, but for those of you who have not, we'll be tapping into that a bit today as well. It's necessary for you to know that each time you ascend, you're accessing a part of yourself you were not privy to, understanding from a previous time, and these parts of yourself can only be accessed while you're sleeping and astral traveling or in a meditative state. Hence, your subconscious is being accessed when you channel specific messages. First, we'll be discussing when, why, and how you astral travel while sleeping, and for those who are advanced, when you're awake. In the beginning stages of your awakening to who you are, you may fall asleep and find yourself having mysterious dreams that pertain to your past, connect you to past life energy, or allow you to communicate with energy that is not readily accessible when you are awake. You could seem as if you are on a different planet or believe you're seeing a different version of yourself. You could even see people you've left behind because energetically they're attempting to remain a part of your life. For those more advanced on your journey, this can occur when you're in a meditative state while you're awake. This requires a shit ton of balance and healing, so things like anxiety, distractions, worries, and doubts cannot kick you out of a meditative energy. So why does astral traveling occur? Astral traveling occurs as a way for your spirit to communicate things that you need to know about yourself and your journey. If you're at the beginning of a cycle, astral traveling could look like you literally visiting people from a past life, accessing their energy, or simply being still with them to keep you balanced on your journey. Yes, you can visit your friends from previous lives energetically while you're sleeping. It's also utilized for you to gain access to parts of yourself that remain dormant. These parts of yourselves that remain dormant until we access them can be things like your Akashic record, you speaking directly to your archangels, you speaking directly to a higher power, and your angels, ancestors, and guides, and so forth. When I say higher power, I'm speaking of a higher vibrational being than yourself, not lower vibrational energy, such as Lucifer or Satanic energy, just to be clear. Furthermore, there is no reason you should be blocked from communication in a meditative state or as you sleep, because your soul is going to go exactly where it's needed to go on your journey. For example, I speak directly to God when I astral travel, especially on the most difficult parts of my journey, because He brings me peace and balance. And y'all be stressing me out. My soul travels because He assists me in raising my vibration so I can continue healing and not get stuck. It's your job to journal when this occurs so it can be utilized to your advantage on your journey. But we'll be discussing that on an upcoming message. Premonitions occur when the spirit realm wishes for you to channel upcoming events. These can be daunting as fuck in the beginning of your journey and are likely to be perceived as a scary-ass dream until you go through parts of your awakening that make you aware you're receiving guidance about the future. You can see anything from what's coming for your family within the next year or so, even what's coming concerning your spiritual growth. Depending on your mission, your premonition may affect the people around you. For example, if you're like me and God appointed you to have a collective to steer, heal, and guide, your premonitions are not just for you. They are meant to steer you on your journey and utilize to heal the people around you as they evolve. Being that I am ascended master and a seraphim as well as many other things, my Father placed a lot of responsibilities on me to guide his people. It is pertinent that I follow this guidance and utilize it to raise the vibration of my collective. That being said, if I choose not to utilize this information I am receiving as guidance and keep it to myself or dismiss it as nothing prevalent, I am not only hurting myself, but I am also hurting everyone I was sent to guide. I'll share a premonition with you that stuck with me and that I'll probably never need to journal because it embedded in my memory forever. I receive premonitions about people's fate and how their life will end as well. As you can imagine, my Father up in heaven waited till well into my journey to relay this information to me about the people around me. Because if he had shared this shit with me early in my journey, it may have scared the fuck out of me. In this premonition, I was made aware that people who were hurting me and harming me in a certain way were about to be judged by the spirit realm. I was also made aware of how their lives would end. These people are now receiving karma. They're also dying and losing everything around them. Everything in this premonition is currently playing out, so it's necessary for this only to occur when you're ready for it to happen. This is also why ascensions occur, so you're prepared for your journey. If you are not ready to understand these type of things as they play out, then it could be detrimental to your healing, growth, and evolution. This is why God is very specific in who he chooses and allows to guide and steer his people. You must be pure in heart and consistently choose to have good intentions when it concerns the people around you. Otherwise, you will become the enemy's puppet. If I had not spoken on this to the team that I'm currently working with, they would not have believed me and they would not have experienced their awakening. It was my job to guide them through this awakening so they could assist me. Now they are more aware because the things that I speak of are currently playing out, and they're able to confirm as well as receive some type of physical evidence that what I'm channeling is directly from a high vibrational being. Spiritual encounters come in many forms, but today I'll be sharing those I've experienced directly. I am able to communicate with spirits or passed on loved ones as well as ethereal beings in upper realms. This gives me a bit of access to people that are no longer with us in the 3D. They could be trapped in purgatory because they're unable to make peace with the life they've lived, or they could literally be your angels, ancestors, or guides remaining close to steer you on your journey. I'm also able to communicate and rebuke low vibrational beings that attempt or have attached themselves to me or the people around me. Either way, I am able to communicate what most are unable to see in order to receive messages that are necessary on my journey. I'll share 2 encounters with you today. My brother passed away in July of 2013. Initially, I was not aware I was communicating with the seraphim he'd become in his absence. He first showed himself as a blue jay on my back fence in my backyard days after I returned from his funeral. He just wanted me to know he was okay. The message was received because blue was his favorite color and he was a free spirit and knew my intuition would alert me about him. Moving forward, the encounters began to get more specific, but I wasn't ready to see or hear them because I was still grieving. I was very upset about his absence, being that he was the only being left in my family that I perceived as being capable of trusting, so I had mistakenly energetically blocked him from communicating with me. I didn't even know I could do this because it was very early in my journey. My grief lasted 10 years, and at this time, I just wasn't self-aware enough to know I was already communicating my frustrations with him directly. It wasn't until 4 years after his funeral of him sending guidance that I was ready to communicate my anger and grief towards him for leaving. He let me know he'd become my spirit guide in his absence, and when I was ready, he made sure I was aware he'd never left my side. He did things like send me white feathers when I was thinking about him. He'd take me places that showed his birthday on billboards, walls, or even on social media. He'd send gifted psychics to flag me down and tell me he said hi while I was learning how to utilize my gifts. And he also reminded me I'm a spiritual guru from a past life, so I knew how to access parts of myself that I now share with you today. He made sure I could no longer avoid his presence because he needed me to understand his absence was necessary for the mission God sent us both on to reveal the enemy's plan. Other ways he still communicates are fucking hilarious. He was a prankster, so as you can imagine, he'd do things like send me butterflies, birds, ladybugs, and dragonflies to know how I'm doing on the journey or steer me in the right direction. Sometimes he'd make them almost fly into my fucking face to get my attention or pick on me. He'd also use them as my personal GPS when I lost myself on my journey. I've literally watched him see me lose my way because my third eye was blocked, and he'd send a dragonfly as well as a fucking bird to tell me where to park my car and where to find a safe place to hide from those who were attempting to hurt me. Just the other day, I went on a walk, and he made a butterfly almost fly into my face. I am not kidding you. I did not understand why he was being a prankster until I made my ass halfway across the street from the park I was playing at, and he told me I was about to leave my healing crystal in the grass. He let my ass get all the way across the street because I was so enthralled in what I was doing that I wasn't paying him any attention. My ass had to turn all the way around, guys, and go back and get the fucking crystal, and it was hot as fuck, and I was ready to go home. We laughed about it and moved on. He'd also do things like telepathically reveal things about the people around me. This made me more aware of the need to keep my chakras balanced because when they were blocked, he would have a hard time getting me the message. My mission is so big. I've been under the enemy's attack since birth, probably while I was in my mother's womb. So we had to find ways for me to still receive guidance when the enemy blocked my crown chakra. Now there are 15 plus ways we communicate what I need to know and 10 more ways to confirm these things that I receive when I'm being guided to ensure nothing is misinterpreted, and if it is, I always seem to find my way around it due to him steering me in the right direction consistently. He shows up in the form of a bird regularly, and because of this, my connection to birds is powerful. When I'm anxious about a situation and I'm outdoors, a very large bird, eagle or buzzard, flies over me to let me know to trust that I'm safe. This is why I strongly advise my collective to understand messages they receive from their guides. It will assist you in so many ways and make your load so much lighter on your journey. One last encounter I will share with you today is one of the times my brother guided me to connect with a soul that passed on so I could pass a message from them to a friend I've made on my journey. A woman I was closely connected to on a mission had recently lost her father. Her father came to me and let me know he had a message for her, but I was afraid to give it to her. This woman had so much healing to do that she was not very approachable, and the enemy was using this to their advantage by making me think she would not be capable of receiving my message. At this part of my journey, I had to break through the enemy's illusions in order to bring this woman a message that was necessary for her to have on her journey and assist her in healing. Prior to my speaking to this woman, she did not even believe in my gifts. After I shared this encounter with her, she knew her father was present, and we began to bond on a different level. She even saw the lights flicker when she shared the message I'd given her with her best friend, and it made me so happy. Her father literally stood beside her and confirmed what she had learned about his absence. The following day, she made sure she stopped me and let me know the messages she received from him. This brought me so much joy that she was able to make peace with him passing on, and now I would like to help my collective do this as well. That being said, if you're interested in receiving messages from a loved one who's passed on, I'd love to assist you in doing so. Please feel free to reach me at auntiebella's@gmail.com. That's AUNTIEBELLASGUIDANCE@gmail.com. I hope this message was able to find you when it was necessary, and I rest assured it was, because I do believe in divine timing. I'd love to work with you. I look forward to assisting you on your healing journey. It's your girl, Bella, keeping it 100 as always, and sending you peace, love, and light on your spiritual journey. I wish you all the best. Until next time. God bless. Bye.